coach, followed by questions for coach and student athletes.
Well, we have tremendous respect for Matt Ulmer and the Oregon program. They are regularly a team that goes deep in the tournament, and they gave us, they gave us a ton to deal with tonight, and I'm just nothing but positive thoughts on my team and the heart we showed tonight. This is the NCAA tournament. It's going to be tough. It's going to be ugly at times, and sometimes you need your B and C game, and just an incredible gritty effort by our team to find a way to persevere when it wasn't always going our way.
Dan, I feel like we always talk about resiliency with this team, but I think with this match, it might be one of your more, I guess your team's more impressive resilient performances is just being down that fourth set and then just being able to use that momentum into the fifth set.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in the elevator. At one point, Kellen and I were talking, hey, do we rest Rachel? You put in Booz in the fourth and rest her for the fifth. And I thought, and it was, at that point, it was like 6-17 or something. And I said, but we're going to come back in this set. And that might have been kind of a silly thought, but we almost did. And so, I think you talk about resiliency a lot, with this team, but you also just talk about it a lot with this sport. It's in volleyball, momentum's real, and so it was. I hope the fans liked it. It was it wasn't always the cleanest, but I thought it was a hell of a battle. I mean, it's probably a good game to be at, I'd imagine.
Coach, following up on his question, this is a team that had swept 26 of 32 matches coming into today. While you weren't quite pushed to the wall as Louisville was, you were pushed.
Yeah.
What is the value in the adversity that this team faced today for a team that hasn't faced that much adversity?
Time will tell, but it's just one more, feather in our cap of knowing that we can be in those tight moments and we can be down, and you can't just be a team that can play when they're up. That doesn't work, and at this level anymore. There's 8 teams left, so I think it'll be huge.
Rachel and Olivia, we know you guys have a penchant for getting out a good scream before a tight set. I'm curious, was there a scream in the locker room before the fifth? And what was said in the locker room as you guys got ready for that
one? I mean, actually guess. Do you think there was scream?
I think there was.
Yeah, there was a scream, and I mean, we've said this in the past, but the scream is literally just like to get our brains to stop going. Just scream, let it all out, reset, move on. And so that's also what kind of was said. It was just intentionally take a second to just reset and play your game. Our good is we'll win, so we just need to find a way to get back to Pitt good.
Coach, what were the struggles in serve receive for your team tonight? What did you notice from your team that struggled in serve receive?
Well, great work by Oregon is what I noticed. They were serving BBs, and probably, I think we got aced 11 times. I would say 2 of those, someone just didn't go for the ball after, just it dropped. And then I would say probably another 5 of those serves were probably out. And so they were serving right on that back line and kind of, so it wasn't that bad of a passing night if you consider those things. They were really serving a lot of balls it was hard for our passers to tell if they were in or out. And, we train them if they don't know to take it. And, but really I just, Oregon came in with their serve and they went for it and it rattled us. And so good on them.
Rachel, how confident does it make you that you have someone like Olivia where you can set anywhere on the floor and she has the ability to get a kill, giving you all these options?
Completely. I honestly, I always have 100% confidence in Liv to get the job done. So yeah, we're a team full of great players, and when Liv is adding to that greatness, it's just unstoppable.
Liv, building off of that, I could be wrong, but I believe that your 31 kills is a NCAA tournament record for Pitt. Most of kills in an NCAA tournament game. I've talked to you a lot about big games, but what was so unique about this one that you just were going?
Honestly, I think Nothing specifically unique, but I just really felt the trust from my teammates today. I just feel like, obviously I know that I play a very high risk, high reward game. I don't tip a lot. People notice that about me. So I feel like that does cause me to make some hitting errors, but even then my team still had full confidence to just feed me the ball. And I feel like just knowing that they had confidence in me gave me confidence in myself to be able to execute the ball, so.
Rachel and Olivia, I know sometimes teams, if they have a couple of communication breakdowns or they have maybe a challenge not go their way, they can kind of fall apart and let games get away, but no lead is really safe when it comes to playing you guys, and I see you guys, coming to the middle, maybe staying there a lot longer. Just what is it about this team that no lead is really safe and you guys are always resilient in that way to not let those things get to you?
Well, thank you for saying that. I think we talk a lot about it, but just like, and especially this week, we have just about, after we win or lose a point, we want to be the team that comes to the center of the court quicker, and instead of like when we lose a point having a big reaction, we just want to like move into resetting to the next point. And so we try not to play like the blame game, or like even on ourselves. You don't want to blame yourself. You just, yeah, it happened, move on, let's find a solution.
Dan, there's really a lot of really good characteristics and plays that your team makes every night, but when Olivia comes from that back row and swings her arm, is that like something that really sets this team apart?
Yeah, and Tori as well. I think we're probably, among the top 3 in the country of how much we set the back row, and we're pretty efficient with it. So, yeah.
Dan, Mallory Meyer had 3 aces, and on top of her 3 aces had numerous saves. How do you trust a freshman who hasn't been in that position that often, and what did you see from her today?
Well, she's been in it quite a bit this year, and then I guess I just look at her and I knew she was gonna get the job done. I mean, she seemed like she looked like, put me in, coach. And so, yeah, I think she made one dig early that she was maybe a little too deep on. But other than that, I think from then on it was basically like a perfect match for her. I think every dig she made, every cover that she could have made, she set really well. So those kind of role players are so huge in as we make these runs.
For Olivia or Rachel, you beat Oregon in 3 sets very early on in the season. Obviously, it was a tougher challenge this time around. I'm sure they would talk about evolving as a team and whatnot. How do you feel like Pitt has evolved as a team? What are you proud of having developed over that time?
I guess I've been letting you answer a lot of questions. I feel like we just have a really good mindset. I feel like our mindset just gets like stronger every single day, like, because obviously we know that like our mindset matters just as much as how we perform on the court, and I feel like that's definitely a big factor. And then just the little things that we've worked on having harder serves, we've worked on a lot of covers, and I feel like at the beginning of the season we probably weren't even covering half as many balls, but I feel like today felt like we're covering everything. So yeah, I just feel like the little things, we're just getting the touches on the balls that we weren't getting touches on earlier, and I feel like we're finding a lot of success with that.
Yeah, as I look at this, we're gonna have to count up the covers. We had 71 digs, and I mean, I don't know how many covers. That's pretty relentless defense by us.
Rachel and Olivia, you guys had like really positive reactions whenever Abby asked about Mallory Meyer. What do you guys think about her performance tonight, like coming in those moments where she might not be playing all game, but she makes a difference when she's in?
I mean, I loved it. Every time she stepped on the court, I had full confidence in her, and it was very clear that she had full confidence in herself, and that's just really refreshing to see. I feel like every single time she stepped on the court today, it was a moment in which we really needed her, and it was kind of like we looked at her and she was like, yeah, I'm going to get the job done, and we knew she was going to do it, and she did exactly that. So just the trust, I'm just happy that she looks so confident and is, showing it on the court, so it's nice to see.
Yeah. Olivia, those back row blasts are a result of physical and aggressiveness and athletic ability, but what about the mindset? What kind of a mindset do you bring to the game when you're doing something like that?
Hit the ball as hard as you can.
That's all it is? I mean, where does it come from?
We I don't know, actually. I feel like we practice that. I feel like Fish throws me a lot of D balls and it's just like, hit it, and I do. So, it just, yeah.
Rachel and Olivia, you guys ran a little bit of a different thing with Blair and Valeria, but is there a different feeling when Valeria's on the court versus when she's not? Just feels like you guys may be a little bit more calmer, and I'm curious. Maybe calmer's not the right word, but.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about like Valeria's energy, and it's just like, I wouldn't say it's like calmer, like better or worse or anything like that. It's just like different. Like Blair is more like of a, like just like a bigger, taller person at the net, like kind of scarier. But Valeria does bring like a almost, but I can't even say that because today when she, like, kudos to Valeria, I think she did like an amazing job still providing energy and like her spirit off when she was off the court too. But yeah, Valeria's just like reassuring, encouraging. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Dan, building off of that, how beneficial has Valeria's tournament experience specifically with her having played and a few more been for your guys' run? I mean, she was directing people out on the floor today, and so I guess I'm just curious.
I would just go back to resilience. Like, I think she knew that she wasn't at her best tonight, but then found a way to make huge plays.
Coach, there's no doubt, whether it's the existence of 2 pro leagues or obviously the attendance at matches this year, that volleyball is on the rise. And it's great that the matches today were, ESPN2, but they were still ESPN2. They didn't preempt their talk shows as they have for basketball and for softball. First 2 rounds on ESPN plus, as opposed to what they did with basketball and softball. Again, it's a step in the right direction, but can you speak to, for fall sports and specifically volleyball, the kind of subtle disrespect that still exists?
It's not going as fast as we want, and part of that is, I think there's been some contracts in place that have guaranteed other sports a certain amount of TV time. So, but I think this is the first year that, all the Sweet 16 games are on linear networks. So I guess I'll just focus on the positive. It is. We are seeing more interest from ESPN. We are seeing more interest from people wanting to promote tournaments, and it's growing at the speed that we want. Probably not, but it's definitely growing.
Dan, obviously going to be kind of a quick turnaround here with the game on Saturday. How do you get your team kind of enjoy this one as much as you can, but move on pretty quickly? Just what's sort of the progression of that?
We're in finals too, but definitely the priority is recovery, and so we have about 48 hours, I think, so that we need to use that wisely, get some good sleep and get some good treatment, and probably go a little lighter tomorrow, obviously, after a 5-setter, and just allow ourselves a break too. We just had a pretty intense battle.
Any last questions for Coach or student athletes? Thank you.